Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today things are looking pretty good, pretty green because of the Fed. And I believe Bitcoin and crypto are set to make all-time highs very, very soon. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about everything that has happened and that will happen. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are starting on a day 117.5. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yesterday was a surprise. And so far today, we are starting out as a surprise because everything is in green. Mostly tech, though. Okay. You can see NASDAQ is up in a big way. Dow is slightly down. That kind of makes sense because people are now feeling more relaxed about the future and they're willing to put more money into what Wall Street deems as risk-on assets, which is tech and crypto. So, looking pretty darn good so far. Now, even Jim Cramer says that Fed could have been more dovish yesterday, but overall what they said was good and doesn't upend broad market themes, which is to buy, and buy. So I agree. I kind of summed up in my video last night about what Powell said during his press conference. He felt very, very uneasy due to the questions. A lot of politicalness that he wasn't willing to answer, which is fine. But overall, what I found was, yeah, he did not have that hawkish tone. Prior, he always maintained his hawkish tone and always cut out all hope. But this time around, he did not. And the biggest takeaway is they are going to save jobs. That's their number one thing, save jobs. And number two will be price stability, inflation. So, hate to say it, as long as the U.S. market is showing weakness with unemployment, with job numbers, job growth, overall economic growth, if these things continue to stall out or get worse, we're going to get a lot more cuts. A lot more cuts. Okay? So yeah, this is pretty much a green light for Wall Street and everyone, all investors, to kind of go in now, right? So to speak, on crypto. I saw a couple things. Okay, that's kind of related, kind of not related to crypto, but I thought I should share this. All of a sudden, Nvidia decides to invest $5 billion in Intel. I wonder if that's because Intel just gave a 10% stake to the U.S. government. I wonder if that's the only reason why. But Intel is definitely late to the game in AI. Nvidia is definitely the leader in AI. But how this relates to crypto is this. Saylor was giving some kind of TED Talk, although it's not a TED Talk, but it's very similar, where he's standing in front of a room full of people. I've never seen him stand and give an explanation. But all the things that he's been doing with Stride and Strife and Strike and whatever else he has, he basically explained in this video that ChatGPT helped him come up with it. That basically on a Saturday night, he's in front of his AI and he's asking for it to give him ideas and stuff. And he came up with something that the bankers, the lawyers, the investors, none of them have heard of anything like this. It's first kind in the world. And then they came back with some problems. He asked AI again and solved it with AI. He was talking about how had he had an army of 10,000 lawyers in 10,000 years, it would never happen. It's all due to AI. And it's amazing to hear. Sometimes I do brainstorm with ChatGPT. Okay. it gives you good ideas. Not always. Sometimes it gives you bad ideas. Sometimes it doesn't know the whole picture. But the more you talk with it, the more you input, the more it could think and give you ideas that you never thought of. But it's amazing to hear that that's how he came up with all this. And it's the first of its kind. No one else have done it. And it's all thanks to AI. It's interesting. Interesting. That's why Nvidia is such a powerhouse, why all the big tech companies are investing so much in AI, because they know AI is definitely the future and will destroy a lot of jobs. So the best way to prepare is to build your wealth now, as much of it as you can, utilizing AI before they take over. All right, what else? This is pretty bullish. Analysts expect crypto ETFs to double with the new SEC rule. So apparently the SEC came out with these like blanket requirements in order to have a spot ETF. And it's pretty generic. And I guess whenever they do this, it's a green light for all the fund makers to just come out with as many as they want. Basically, we know of the big ones that are coming. But now because of this, there could be a lot more coming, okay? Galaxy Research believes that 14 ETFs will come out in the very, very near future and includes XRP, Sol, ADA, Doge, Link, Stellar, AVAX, even SHIB, DOT, HBAR. You know, a lot of these that you wouldn't think. Like, why does SHIB need a spot ETF, right? I can see Doge, but who knows? I know SUI was talked about as well. You can have blanket, like bucket ETFs. A lot of them are probably going to come really, really soon. In fact, now there are analysts saying that even though it seems like the deadline for Solana and XRP ETFs have been pushed back to November, it actually may hit the market sooner than expected because of this new generic guideline, right? So we'll see. And SEC already approved Grayscale's multi-crypto fund. So pretty soon investors, like I said, could just invest in, I don't know, a meme bucket ETF or a big cap bucket ETF or a L1 bucket ETF, something like that. Kind of like, the other ETFs that exist now. They're buckets of like stocks, right, of companies. So this is super bullish. Very, very bullish. As we head further into the altcoin season, and just overall the peak of this cycle, you're going to have billions upon billions upon billions flow into these ETFs. And of course, these ETFs will be buying a ton of the underlying crypto that they represent. It's going to be enormous. Enormous. All right, what else? ETF inflow. Yesterday, a lot of people sold. I think it was going off the same perception that I had, and that is whenever you have an FOMC meeting, you have red. That's the only thing that makes sense. I think a lot of investors sold yesterday in preparation. BlackRock didn't. Everyone else did. So we actually had a negative day despite Bitcoin coming back up. So I think a lot of these guys are like, oh man, I made a mistake. I got to buy back. I think today's inflow is going to be tremendous. But yeah, we had such a weird week. Set off very differently than previous FOMC press conferences. But that's a good thing. This is a good surprise, right? Things are doing well. We're not seeing red. We're seeing a rally right away. And this is the very first day. This is kind of like last year when the cuts in September set things off in a big way. ETH inflow, barely negative, mostly positive because of BlackRock again. So overall, So good. All right, what else? DeFi Technology launched world's first Bitcoin staking ETP on the London Stock Exchange. Interesting. How could you have a Bitcoin staking ETP? Where are they staking it in? I guess they're doing their own some kind of thing where they provide yield. But it's on London Stock Exchange. Those of you guys in London, you could look at that. But there are still more being launched in Europe and Asia, right? So it's not just about Wall Street. The Wall Street is definitely where the money is and it's leading the way. But other markets are going to get their ETPs and ETFs, and that will only accelerate the buying. What else? Bitcoin to test all-time high quickly if the bulls reclaim 118. It could be the reason why we haven't broke through 118 yet. Okay, but a lot of people are looking at the signs, at the signals, and the patterns, and, you know, it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time. We're only like, what, $6,000 away from all-time high? It seems like, it doesn't seem like it, right? Because we've been stalled for a while. It seems like, we're still so far away. We're really not. We're $6,000, so we're like 5%, less than 6% away from all-time high. We could hit that in one day. We could hit it by the end of today. We just need a little push, a little momentum. So it's coming, guys. It's coming. And now that the Fed has basically given the green light, we're pretty much locked in for at least 3 rate cuts, maybe even more if we get more bad economic data. The money is going to start flowing in once again. And on top of that, you still have a lot of institutional buying, and there's a lot more coming too, besides just buying. RWA, tokenized money, tokenized funds, tokenized stocks, tokenized everything. Money transfer, it's all coming. This is going to bring a ton of activity, volume, liquidity, users into the space. DBS, Franklin Templeton, and Ripple launched trading with tokenized money and money markets. You haven't heard much about Ripple these days, but they're moving forward. They're making some big connections, big partnerships. They are still promoting their own stablecoin, RLUSD, and they're still working with the big banks around the world. So good for them. What else? There's this Synthesis secures $11 million to build infrastructure for tokenized securities. RWA is definitely a huge narrative in the crypto space. And we're going to see more of that. A lot of chains already are involved. We know Chainlink is involved. AVAX is involved. XRP is involved. ETH is involved. Many. This Ethereum competitor is the most commercially viable blockchain for global markets and payments. Can you guess which one? Yes, Sol. So Sol's involved. Solana is involved. And Pantera Capital is very, very, very bullish on Solana. It's their largest holding. And they hold, what, 1.5 billion? And others are trying to create Sol treasuries too. There was one company I covered yesterday that's trying to raise $4 billion for their Sol treasury. So, good stuff. Good stuff. And then, we talk a lot about ETFs, but prior to that, options on Solana and XRP will start in October. This is from the CME, right? Usually you have futures-based ETFs first, then you have options, then you have spot ETFs. But this is coming. CME is one of the biggest exchanges out there, so pretty bullish for both Solana and XRP once these get released. And then last I saw this. MoneyGram introduced USDC in Colombia. And this is because they're offering protection against peso depreciation. So they're actually doing this so people can actually protect their wealth, because if they're holding their money in pesos, it's just going to hyperinflate to nothing. Just like Argentina, just like other countries like Turkey, where they suffer from extreme inflation. You don't even want to hold the currency, because every day it gets less and less valuable. So it's actually smart. So for a huge remittance company like MoneyGram, and I'm sure Western Union will probably follow soon, to offer stable coins for its users and customers to store their value so that their current, currency doesn't depreciate them, or rob them of their buying power, I should say. So, pretty good. Pretty good all around. All right. Let's see. Very green for a lot of companies. I mentioned Nvidia, Robinhood up big, MicroStrategy up, Coinbase up. Overall, good for tech. Not so good for non-tech so far. And then you got some good movers like Sui, that's almost to 390 now. They were just at like 350 like a day ago. No, they dropped here. Yeah, 347 just a day ago, and they're like at 390 now. I mean, you got some good recoveries going on. AVAX is now well above 30. You can see how they have broken above this resistance and now at 33, having a really good day, plus 4%. Still off from their earlier highs, but they are trending upwards for sure. So good for them. Bitcoin dominance, although slightly up today, overall you can see that the trend is still downwards. There's no major recovery, which shows that we are in altcoin season, just the very beginnings of it. And we see this drop even more back down to 52 or below, then alts are going to be sky high. All right, guys. Let's do some Q&A. I really like this cleaner CMC look. You get all the information you want. None of the previous big ads and stuff like that. It's so much cleaner. Someone mentioned BNB is almost up to 1,000. Yeah, BNB is one of those that you just like ignore, but it just keeps on trending upwards. Although Solana and BNB are neck and neck, so they're probably going to, Solana's probably going to flip it soon. And then it has to get to XRP levels, and then it'll get to Ethereum levels. A lot of people caught on Aster yesterday because CZ tweeted it out. This is a Hyperliquid competitor. Supposedly CZ hates Hyperliquid, okay? Because he feels like the guys copied his idea and did it better and made a whole bunch of money. So now he's backing this company, and it's up 500% within a single day. I thought about FOMOing in here because if you look at the market cap, yesterday was just like 700. So you went up another like 30% since yesterday. Because if you look at the market cap, it's under $1 billion, and Hyperliquid is at like 20 billion. So you figure maybe it has the potential to go up there, especially with CZ's and Binance's backing. But it is up 500%. So normally speaking, when you chase something like this, it doesn't end up well, but who knows? It is a decentralized. It was a decentralized derivatives platform, so you can do leverage trading, futures trading on it. So I don't know. I don't know. I think you gotta. The smart play is don't FOMO in. But if you look at some of these other hyped up companies or projects, you know, valuations don't matter. They just keep going up because people keep FOMOing in. It just went up a little more. What are your thoughts on Sui partnering with Google? Haven't heard of it. So I guess anything with Google is good. Speaking of Clash, I do have an updated poster for the tournament. And here we go. Let's see. I post that in here. So I decided to make it even more enticing for people to join the tournament and to be holding Clash. So this is free to join anyone. Okay, so you guys, a lot of you guys know I've been streaming on Pump.fun on this game. So I'm going to have a tournament this Friday. I'll probably put 200 open spots, but I can make it even 1,000 if people really want to FOMO in. Cash prizes. Not only do you get Sol, first place 2 Sol, second place 1 Sol, third place half a Sol, 4 to 10 places, 0.1 Sol each. The misspellings are from ChatGPT, so I did not misspell. But not only that, the top 10 winners, okay, if they're holding Clash, I will double it for them if they are a top 10 holder in their wallets. So when I send it to them, I'll check. If they have Clash, I'm going to double it. And during the stream, I'll be doing giveaways too. So just want to share. That will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. So that's going to be a big tournament. I feel like there's going to probably be over 100 people on this. It's going to be pretty big. Just wanted to share. More information in Discord as well if you guys have questions. So make sure you join Discord for that and for other things. Soul. Clash doesn't have I started it because I have to start a coin to stream on Pump.fun. And I started a Clash token. I've been talking about it for like a week now. Should not be a surprise. But whenever I stream, I got a good time. I can play music, relax, talk about whatever, and watch me get frustrated over playing the game. But I think this tournament will be fun. I've been talking about it for a while. Bullseye. It's just a meme coin for my gaming, for Clash. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. I have big ambitions for many things, but that is what I'm doing right now. To kind of test the market, to test how Pump.fun is as a platform, how viral it is. And so far, it has not been disappointing. Fire down below. Do you think it's likely that AI coins like Near and Render will make all-time highs this bull run? Sure. Near is not really AI coin though. It really isn't. It's a L1. They kind of just like rode the AI bandwagon earlier this year and they pumped a lot, but they're not really an AI coin at all. Render is more of a DePIN slash AI, but it's not a pure AI play either. But it's definitely in the bucket. What happened to a red day? Will we get a pullback? Well, so far, no. But don't jinx it. If enough people are wishing for red day, it may just come. So historically speaking, after a FOMC meeting, the day of and the day after is red, right? The fact that we are not, that's a good thing. Let's not pray for it. How do you join a clash tourney? Tomorrow. So, first of all, join the Discord. I have the Discord link in my description and also the pump.fun account that I stream from in the description. But tomorrow, I will post a link. I'll put it in Discord first and then I'll tweet it out and put it on Facebook and stuff. But I can't pre-schedule the tournament. It won't let me do that. It will only let me do it 1 hour ahead of time. So I can't create it. But I'm definitely going to have tomorrow. And I'll pull out a link. And then once you click on the link, you're in the tournament. And I'll stream the whole thing on the pump.fun account. I've been streaming every day on it. I did the FOMC meeting yesterday on it, even though that was a weird thing to do, but I did it anyways. Shake and bake. What stolen coin victims? What are you talking about? You don't need to join the clan. The clan is full already. But you can still join the tournament. Anyone can join the tournament. You don't have to be in the clan to join. But the clan is full. Like we have 50 members. That's the most you could have. This is pretty big. If you're first place, you're getting 2 souls, so that's like $500. If you're holding 1 million in Clash, there's so many misspellings in this. I don't know why he messed up so much, but if you're holding 1 million, 1 million Clash, that's about $400. So I would double that. So basically, you're getting like almost $1,000 if you're first place. Obviously, you gotta be very skilled. Second place too. Second, 1 soul is like 250 basically, and then you're holding 1 million. That's 400. So you're gonna be making like 600, No, you're making 850. No, 750. So the prizes are gonna be substantial. So if you want to participate, make sure you're in Discord, because that's where I'll post the link first. And if it fills up in terms of number of participants, and that's it. Yes, it's George Plays Clash. It's this one right here. This streaming platform is amazing though. Besides the creator rewards and everything, but the streaming platform is really, really amazing. They did an excellent job. Excellent job on their streaming platform. It's basically perfect. I will be using MegaDraft so that people are not like so set with their own decks because everyone has their own deck and they're usually really good at it. So I'm doing MegaDraft, so it's pure skill. MegaDraft tournament is really tough because you're forced to play with decks that you're not comfortable with. So it's really about skill. Someone says, talk about Nvidia and Intel. I did already at the beginning. I feel like the only reason why they did this is because the government's involved. Intel gave 10% to the US government. I feel like that's the only reason. Intel is like a dead company, man. But now they could produce like gaming chips where it has, Intel as a CPU and Nvidia as a GPU, and you can have integrations too. AMD did that a long time ago where they integrated like graphics processing into the CPUs. I guess they can go ahead and do that. It's a better way for Nvidia to compete with AMD also on like the PC front. I don't know about enterprise whether they would ever use that, but at least on the PC front. H bar, no, you're gonna have to learn how to do Mega Draft, man. You're at 8,000. I mean, a lot of people are a lot higher than you. I'm at 12,000. There's several members at 13, 14, 15,000. They're all really, really, really good with their own decks. So you actually have a better chance of being top 10 if you play Mega Draft. Coinbase up, good. Robinhood up, very good. Robinhood at 123, man. Nvidia up, good. Yesterday I had a big dump. I'm glad to see that they're almost back to that pre-dump because of the China news. Again, Nvidia doesn't even really need China at all, and that thing will be resolved anyways. It's a bigger loss for China not to buy Nvidia chips than it is for Nvidia not to have ability to sell to China. Danny says, it would be cool if you could place bets on matches and turning. Like, that would be cool. I don't know how you would do it. I'm sure there's some way to do it, but the way you schedule a tournament in Clash is very archaic. Um, maybe we could do some poly market stuff with it. But it's the first of many. I'm trying this out. Like, this is the very first tournament with cash prizes. I had two tournaments before. Um, that was just for fun. But when you start rewarding people, that's when it changes, right? People really get motivated to play. And it's a really fun game. A lot of you guys, it's been out for 9 years. People have told me like, "Oh, I played this 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and I quit." It's pretty much the same game, except it's different because they have more guys, more decks now, right? More meta decks, as you would say, more evos and stuff. Um, but yeah, my kids got me hooked onto this. I mean, I don't know how you would cheat. Basically, whoever gets the most wins, right? That's how we determine the places. It doesn't matter about losses. I could also do like a 3 loss out or 5 loss out, but then, it gets very demotivating for people to continue to play. So I'm going to set it so that there's no losses. You're not going to be kicked out, right? It's just based on wins. So the first to 10th place is based on wins. And of course, I need your Solana wallet. If you don't have a wallet, then fine, you don't win anything. But I need to know the top 10's wallets. And once I get that, then I'll be able to send the prizes. Lord Aragon, I played at launch, trying again because I'm so confused. Currently at 7,800. If you're at 7,800 trophies, you're not that confused. You're doing pretty well. Breaking above 6,000-ish, that's where it starts getting hard because you're playing against a lot of players that have been playing for a while. Yeah, I think my kids are better. I have higher trophy count because honestly, I just pay more to win. My deck is way higher level than theirs. But I got some skills. When we do Mega Draft, I feel like I win more than they do. But if we're playing like a normal deck, their deck versus mine, I feel like they usually win. We're still going up. ETH has really stalled out. I don't know why. ETH should be at like 5,000 now. They had this really huge run almost to 4,800. They broke all-time high, and now they're not doing bad at 4,600, but they definitely lost a lot of the momentum. I didn't know they didn't have level 15 cards before. 15 cards are kind of like a cheat. You can't get 15 cards unless you pay for it, really. 14, but honestly, when you're at that level, like 13 or above is fine. 13, 14's very little difference. 13 to 15, I guess a bigger difference, but even at pro level, you could get away with level 13 cards. I don't know if this is the right Aster. Probably not. Can I dual stream this to YouTube and Pump? I could, but why? Just go to pump.fun and stream it. It's easy. Just I have the link. It's the count page, and then just click into it. Gaming is for nerds. Well, if you haven't noticed, nerds are the ones that are running the world. So, who cares? They never had evolution cards. Oh, evolutions. Yeah, evolutions. Some Evos are so dominant. Yeah, crypto's for nerds too, if you really think about it. Forget gaming, download Audible and learn something new, become a more rounded person, strive to learn it, and just entertain yourself. I don't disagree with that. I think learning new things, becoming a better person is always good. But hey, gaming could equate to things too. Not if you're like, sitting on a couch doing nothing and being lazy all day and playing games. That's different. You could actually learn a thing or two about streaming, making a side job or side hustle, or you could win some Clash in my tournament. You know, in moderation, okay? It also improves hand-eye coordination too, especially for older people. You know, you want them to play like chess or something. For Asians, you want them to play like mahjong because it helps, you know, with their memories and stuff. What's my favorite Tesla? Has to be a Cybertruck. I had every single Tesla car. I haven't driven the new Y or the new 3 yet, but I've driven the old ones. I had an X, I had an S Plaid. Um, they're nice, but I think the Cybertruck is the best. Stop asking about BG Wealth. I have no idea. And no one else is chiming in because no one else has heard that project. I touched grass once, it gave me a rash. There's an app called Elevate that has good brain games and exercises. Interesting. Another mobile game that I was shown was Block Blast. Block Blast is another one. It's free. It's kind of like Tetris, a little bit like Tetris, but different. That's a really good, I don't know, mental game, I guess. My coworker just picks his nose while listening to Audible. Don't think the learning part has kicked in. I think, you know, the best way to learn, honestly, I know reading is the big thing, but listening to podcasts. I told you guys I got really, you know, really addicted to this AI podcast. Um, but when you listen to this podcast, basically you get like the best parts of a book because there's only so much they could talk about. And they talk about the good things, and it depends on the podcaster asking the right questions. But usually that guy, the secret diary of the CEO of a CEO or something, um, that guy, he interviews a lot of really amazing people, very smart people. All you need to do is listen to those podcasts because those people give you like the most insightful thing that they know about that topic. And that's really how you learn fast. You don't need to read books. A lot of books are just fillers. Um, Actually, most books are fillers, unless you're reading like a textbook or something. But most books are like just filled with fillers because they have to make like 300 pages or 500 pages. But the most important part's probably only 10% of that. That's why I feel like with podcasts, what it does, it gives you the most important parts. Unless the people are lying to you, which normally they don't. Um, I feel like those podcasts are very, very important. It's a just diary of CEO, right? He interviews a lot of really good people. But that AI one that I talked about is really, really good. It's kind of scary. Yeah, this guy right here. He deserves that 12 million subscriber count. This is the AI one that I was talking about right here with this guy, Roman something. It's a brilliant interview. I've been looking at some of these other ones periodically. This guy talks about, fitness and all the myths and everything. I think most people know about like health and fitness and stuff, but a lot of these are like for AI. There was another guy I interviewed was AI. There's a whole lot in here. So if you really want to learn, you can listen to audiobooks or just pick and choose the topics you want to hear about with this podcast. He asks good questions too. That's the thing. I think it really depends on the questions, right? If you just ask dumb questions, then obviously you would get dumb answers. But he asks good questions, and they're like 2 hours long. But what I love is he puts the timestamps, so you just skip through to exactly what you want to hear. Like prediction for 2030. What's going to happen then? What's going to happen by 2045? Right? Why can't we just unplug AI? Are we living a simulation? I mean, you could just skip exactly to it. Do I still like I Trust Capital? No, we're not on good terms. No. What's original said I just started playing Clash again 2 days ago. I have 2152 trophies. It seems hard to get a lot. I've been grinding, it feels like. That's how it feels like at every level. It feels like that in the 2000s. It feels like that in 3000s, 4000s. When you get to 6000s, it really becomes a grind. Leveling for 6 to 7 is hard. 7,000 to 8,000 harder. 8,000 to 9,000 even harder. 9 to 10,000 is probably the hardest. Kyle Tick Crisis. I know you've been like spamming that clan as a community clan. Maybe you should cool it a little bit. I know you're very enthusiastic. I appreciate that, but that's not the official clan. And making a community clan, I don't know if that's going to actually do anything. I think it'd be bigger help if you just get people to try to join a tournament. Almost to 118. So one of the articles talked about what's reclaiming 118 and then all-time high. We could hit all-time high by the end of today. There's no reason why we can't. There's no worries about rate cuts anymore. The Fed basically said, yeah, we're going to get 3 more. Dow turned green, so that's good. Coinbase up 4% now. It's really starting to heat up. Coinbase up 4%. That's a good thing. And Robinhood up 4% too. So that's very good. That means Wall Street is pouring money into crypto right now. My cousin has 32K crowns, that's not possible. After 10, you could get to 15. After 15, you go into like ultimate tournaments or something. Um, I forgot what it is. It's like when you start playing ranked against like the best people on the planet. I have nothing against I Trust Capital's platform, but the person that I was with was bad. So my channel got banned briefly in 2021, I believe. And as soon as I got banned, he complained about like I can't fulfill my obligations and stuff. So I'm like, screw you guys. I just left them. Um, and I got my channel back within the same day. So I don't work with partners like that. I mean, since then, I've heard that that guy left. They got new people. They reached out again, but I don't know if I want to work with them again. They are the biggest crypto IRA, I believe, but also I think there's another one called Bitcoin IRA. So I think it's just those two. But pretty soon, you don't even have to rely on these guys because Trump made it so that 401ks can invest in crypto. So pretty soon, all of your funds, wherever it may be on, you know, it could be with some bank, it could be with Schwab, wherever, you can invest crypto with it, right? You just have to wait. And then especially with these crypto ETFs coming out, it'll be so much easier. Like these multi-crypto funds. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you will. That's true. What was that response of? Franklin. Franken Studio. Appreciate it. I don't think I could create a sister clan. I don't think I could create a new one. You guys could join the community one from Kyle Tick Crisis. It's fine. There's really nothing wrong with it. I mean, you got to have a good clan and good clan members. Otherwise, your clan goes nowhere anyways. Okay. Slow and steady grind today. Man, Sui's having a good day. 392, almost back to $4. I can't believe how volatile Sui is. It was just at 340 just like a day ago. It's almost a 10% swing within like a day and a half. Coinbase almost up 5%. It's still not it has still not climbed back since this big dump since their quarterly. So if they fill the gap, they could be up to like 360, 370 in no time. All right, guys, that's a long stream. I don't get off. Today is looking like it's pretty darn good. So we'll see where Bitcoin heads to. We could probably go back to like, if this continues, we could go back to 120s. There's no reason why we can't get back to all-time high even today. We get a little bit more push. We could certainly go up there and crush the shorts, get some liquidations going, and really start running. Last super chat. If you could pick 3 alts to hold where you're holding, I would pick Sol, Sui, and probably, if only 3, maybe put Doge in there because it's going to get its ETF and it's doing very well too. If I can only pick 3. But the smarter play is to go beyond 3, probably at least 5 or 6. I think having a few like unknowns would be advantageous. Like having Pump in there, I think would be good. Having the new Aster in there would be good. Putting like Link and XRP in there would be good. AVAX in there would be good. Probably more than 6. Probably like 10. I think 10 overall would be a good portfolio. All right, guys. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Again, if you want to join a tournament or learn more about it, make sure you join the Discord. But the Discord is not just for Clash, okay? I don't want you guys to think it's just Clash. We got almost 3,400 members in here, people in here chatting about whatever, looking at charts. There's technical analysis, talking about the latest memes in here, off-topic stuff, rating your portfolio, which I've done on air, car chat, you know, whatever it may be. This is just for you guys. All right, but the Clash stuff is in there as well. All right, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight. All right, have a good one. Take care.